Welcome to Adulting 101, how to cook the basics for survival. I will be going over how to make an omelet, pan-fried chicken breasts, oven-roasted potatoes, how to cook white rice, and the importance of your materials. But first, this is how you convert a recipe to accommodate more people. You will need to find your conversion factor first. Take the serving size you want to make and divide that by the serving size on the recipe. Now multiply each item's amount by your new number. After doing this, you will want to convert any decimal into a fraction. And now you will have a legible new recipe for more people. If you need to serve less people, you actually do the same math using the smaller serving size you want to make divided by the serving size on the recipe, and the rest of the steps are the same. In order to make an omelet, you're going to need a non-stick pan, a rubber spatula, a fork, eggs, a bowl, water, salt, pepper, butter, and an option of either cheese or meat of some kind. First, using a bowl, combine eggs with water by beating them together with a fork. Add a little salt and pepper. Melt butter on medium heat in your nonstick pan and make sure the butter covers its entire surface. Now add your eggs and allow them to cook until the edges look like they are a bit cooked. Then begin to move the cooked egg away from the edges so that the raw egg can hit the edge of the pan. Keep doing this until your eggs are about 75% of the way finished. Then, press the eggs down until they are flat with your spatula. Now you can begin adding any meat, cheese, or herbs that you want onto the eggs and allow it to cook for a minute. Then, you will want to fold one side of the eggs over the middle, then the other edge of the eggs. Now you can put the eggs on a plate. I chose this dish because it is a good breakfast item and it can also be a good lunch item. How to cook pan-fried chicken breasts. You're going to want seasonings for a seasoning blend. This depends on your preferences and taste. You'll want a skillet, and you'll probably want a spatula to flip the chicken, and a bowl. You should also have a meat thermometer so that you will accurately be able to know when the chicken is cooked all the way through so that you don't get salmonella. In a small bowl, stir together your seasonings. If you need to, trim the chicken breasts as well as flattening them. You can do this by covering the chicken with plastic wrap and use a meat mallet or rolling pin to lightly pound them. Then, dry the chicken breasts. You want to cook the chicken breasts on medium-high heat for 6 to 7 minutes on each side. Be wary of the kind of pan you are using and the thickness of the chicken breasts because that will affect how long the cook time is. You also want to make sure to stay in the room and watch the chicken so that it doesn't overcook and burn. You will know your chicken is done when it reaches 165 degrees in the thickest piece of the chicken breast. I chose this item because it is good to eat for lunch and dinner, and if you make enough, it is good to keep the leftovers in the fridge to eat the next day. For oven roasted potatoes, you'll want olive oil, garlic, basil, dill, thyme, oregano, parsley, pepper flakes, and salt, a bowl, potatoes, a baking sheet, and a knife. First, you will want to preheat your oven to 475 degrees. Next, wash your potatoes and thoroughly scrub them to make sure that they are clean. Then, you'll want them to dry them off before dicing the potato. After this, you want to combine olive oil, garlic, basil, dill, thyme, oregano, parsley, pepper flakes, and salt in a bowl. Afterwards, stir your potatoes in until they are coated evenly. After that, put your potatoes on a baking sheet. Make sure it's all in one layer. Then, you'll roast your potatoes in the oven, making sure to turn them every once in a while so that each side is tender with crisp edges. It will take around 25 minutes. For plating, you can just serve it hot on any kind of plate. I chose this dish because it is a good side for an omelet, or it's good with chicken too. How to cook white rice without a rice cooker. 3 of the ways you can achieve this is by using a microwave, a stove, or an oven. The recipe I will be referencing only works for long grain white rice, medium grain white rice, and short grain white rice. However, it doesn't work for sushi rice even though it is a short grain. For the microwave, you'll want a microwave-safe bowl that has a lid, 2 cups of boiling water, and 1 cup of rice. Put the rice and boiling water in the bowl and put it in the microwave without putting the lid on. Cook on high for 12 minutes. When it's done, take it out and put the lid on, letting it rest for 10 minutes. For cooking the white rice on a stove, you'll want a pot, a lid, 1 cup of rice, and 1/2 cups of water. Put your water and rice in the pot and bring it to a simmer on medium-high. Then turn it down to low and cover it with the lid. letting it cook for 13 minutes. Then, turn the heat off and let rest for 10 minutes. For cooking white rice in the oven, you will need 2 cups of rice, 3 cups of boiling water, and a baking dish with a lid. Place the rice and boiling water in the baking dish. Then, cover it with the lid, placing it in the oven, and bake at 380 degrees for 35 minutes. Then, once it's done, take it out of the oven and let it rest for 10 minutes. Then, fluff the rice by moving it around with a fork. Now your rice is ready to plate. I chose this dish because it can go well with a protein like chicken. The expert advice that I got from Chef Nyron was that understanding the ingredients as well as the equipment that you use while cooking is actually very important and can affect whether or not the dish you make turns out well. An example that he gave being that if you are working with beef, the specific cut will determine what cooking method you'll use, and that knowing how the freshness of your ingredients also affects the dish. Something to note is that understanding the tools you are using and how to use them is important for safety, as well as the time it takes to cook your dish. According to Chef, you can find all of the ingredients you will need for a basic dish in a regular grocery store. Some examples he gave being a Walmart or Albertsons. Finding a recipe is as simple as a Google search or going to a library or bookstore and finding a cookbook.
If you want to support me, I have a Ko-Fi. If you donate $5 monthly, you can get access to the supporter Discord, as well as a special role in the public Discord. I have a shop where I post adoptable characters and a commissions page where you can commission me for a simple animation or a detailed art piece. I also have a tip jar where you can simply tip me some money. And in exchange, you will get the Ko-Fi supporter role in my public Discord. Thank you so much.